All right, hi guys, it's Dr. Stafford here. I wanted to come on here because I wanted to talk about something that just happened, and I wanted to talk about it while it was fresh in my mind and in my heart. Um, and so here I am. So back in July, I was involved in a car accident. I was rear-ended, and it caused a lot of inflammation and things in my body to flare up. And so ever since then, my health has kind of been doing like this downward spiral. Um, and it's been difficult. I haven't been medically cleared to drive since then because of things going on. And it has just created a mess, right? Like, so it wasn't like a severe car accident or anything. Like, I could drive my car. The guy who hit me could drive his car away, but there was damage done to both vehicles, a lot of damage done to his, and he hit me hard enough to cause a lot of issues to where um, I'm not neurologically cleared to drive for, so that's the medical reason is things going on with the brain, the spine and stuff. So that's why I'm not cleared to drive. So it obviously hit me hard enough. And so with certain things, I had a medication. Everybody knows like I'm not anti-medication. I just don't think it should be the first line of defense. I have been having so much pain that my blood pressure has been having it's kind of been all over the place. So they did put me on a very low dose of blood pressure medication. And so medication can actually cause mineral deficiencies in your body. Okay. And so I've had to go to the ER a couple times just because of issues with my neck, shoulder, and spine. And when I've gone, of course, they're checking my heart because unfortunately for me, like the pain is in my left shoulder because that's where the seatbelt was going across, and that's part of the area of the spine where my spine is jacked up pretty bad. And so unfortunately though, it's like between issues with my blood pressure and pain in my left arm shoulder area, I kind of freak out a little bit because I'm like, oh my god, is it a stroke, is it a heart attack, like is something going wrong, like oh my gosh, I can't do like, so I'm always reading into these things, I think a little too much, which I'd rather be safe than sorry. And so I end up in the ER for certain things. And they're like, it's a good thing you came because you can never be too cautious, right? Heart's healthy and good. Blood pressure, they're like, even though it's elevated for you, like you're still like, you're good. There's no blockages. Like heart is good. Heart is healthy. Heart is strong. There's no proteins being sent out, for signs of heart attack or stroke. So I'm like, okay, great. But when they do my blood work and labs, they're like, this is super low, this is super low, this is probably why you're feeling like crap, um, and this is probably why your inflammatory markers are super high. And so I got a lab report from a recent lab work that I had done. I can't even say it, doesn't matter, but I was reading it and I told my husband, I was like, oh, I got my lab work, and I'm reading it to him and it's like, oh well, it shows that I'm deficient in this and this and this, and then they diagnosed me with this. He's like, well, the first thing out of his mouth is, well, I guess all the money for the supplements isn't worth it. So why even keep taking it? To which I was like, really? You? And so I was like, I was really kind of crushed, first of all, because I'm like, for my husband, like, you're supposed to have my back. And then, second of all, I was like, it's crazy because my family, I think, often forgets like where my health actually was years ago before um, finding and using the things that I use now to help with my, uh, the body's response to these conditions. And it really just tears me up emotionally when they say crap like that. Like, I know I can't be the only one, right? This is why I'm sharing this because I know there's other people out there. I've talked to somebody who I'm collaborating with currently who has a diagnosis, and they said that, it's hard. People, like, unless people have gone through dealing with any kind of autoimmune issue or they've had any real health scares or illnesses, people don't understand. They don't understand. And then he's just like, well, I just don't understand how a little car accident could cause all of this. And it's like, wow, that's okay. And you part of you is like, I pray to God that you never have to go through this because I wouldn't wish this on my enemy. But then there's another part of me, if I'm being honest, that's like, I wish you could just taste it for a day. Like I wish you could just feel what I feel for a day and let me see how well you function. And back in 2014, March of 2014, or May, I think it was May 2014, my husband was burned 23% of his body, including his face, his arms, his legs, his feet. He had to have skin graft surgery. And I will never forget, that was probably the most empathetic he has ever been since all of this has started in 2013 for me. And when his health was no longer in a peak of healthiness and he was struggling to walk and move and do things like that, then he understood. So I just want to say this to anybody out there who's diagnosed with RA, fibro, lupus, MS, whatever it is you're dealing with. Yes, it sucks. And yes, it hurts. I know it hurts emotionally, mentally, can be draining and stressful, especially when people are like, oh, stress is just what you make it. They don't understand unless somebody is going through or has gone through what you are dealing with. It doesn't have to necessarily be the same, but unless they've gone through or are going through what you're going through, they just don't understand. They just don't understand. And it's like, unless they're a person who are truly empathetic, you just cannot make them understand. Like, you cannot get it through to them that no, I'm not being lazy. Yes, I'm very tired. And yes, you may think that these supplements and other things that I'm using aren't helping, but I'm here to tell you that they absolutely are helping because what would I look like if I didn't have them? And I will say that for me, there was like a 2 or 3 week period where I wasn't really doing my protocol like I should have because I was just so tired. I was in so much pain. And I was drained. I'm drained. I work from home, I homeschool. Like I am always with somebody doing something for someone else. Right. So one of the biggest things for me as we're ending out 2023, the last 2 weeks of this year, I have been like, I need to rest. I need to rest. And it really hit home when my big brother King called me and was fussing at me because he's like, I cannot see you resting. He's like, I just cannot picture you being still for an hour, even 5 minutes. And I was like, he's like, what good are you if you're not good, if you're not healthy? Like, and then I mean, he was, just telling me some things that really just hit home for me. And I was like, I really got to do better to the point where 2024, it is like not even penciled in, it is etched in permanent marker for those days and moments where I'm going to do self-care activities because I have to. I have to, because when I'm dealing with certain health issues and then I have my family over here saying, well, you're just being lazy, or I don't understand why this isn't working, or why this, that, and the third. It's your own family, guys. Like, it's not, these aren't like friends just saying this stuff to me. It is my family who lives with me and sees me every single day. They don't mean it maliciously at all. They don't. They just can't comprehend because they have never been in a position, they just really don't understand what it is like to not have your health. They don't understand what it is to not be healthy. And I thank God for that. I thank God that my kids are extremely healthy. My husband's healthy, like despite some bad habits that he has, like he's really healthy. And I thank God for that every day. I really do, because I truly would not want anybody, not even my worst enemy, to have to feel and deal with the things that I'm dealing with in my own personal health. But it does add to that stress. It does add to that emotional draining to just have to put on that face of, okay, uh-huh, sure, whatever, and let it roll off your back like water on duck feathers, right? Just let it roll off your back. Much easier said than done. But I just wanted to come on here because I wanted to say, people aren't necessarily doing this and saying these things maliciously. They're not necessarily doubting you out of a place of malice. It's just a place of not understanding. And as much as that may hurt sometimes, we really just have to look at it like they don't understand. And it's okay. You don't need for them to understand, right? And I tell them that I don't need you to understand. I just need you to be supportive. Like whatever negative thoughts you have, keep that to yourself. Okay. Like, I don't want to sit here and argue about stress and what causes stress and this, that, and the third when I'm saying out of my mouth that this is causing me stress and you're trying to tell me, well, stress is X, Y, and Z. No, stress for me in this moment is this thing that I'm telling you. So therefore, I'm just going to get myself out of it. Whether you believe it or not, that it's stressful, that's, I don't care. It's stressful to me. I'm removing myself from the stress. You guys got to learn to do the same thing. We're in this together. I'm learning this. I want you guys to learn this. Like, it's okay to like cut those conversations short and be like, you know what? I need to take a break and walk away. Just walk away. Like, who cares if the conversation was half finished? If you don't ever get back to the conversation, then, you know, oh well. But you got to take care of you. And again, people may not understand it because they just don't understand, right? They're not trying to be mean or malicious, but they don't get it. And yeah, it sucks. It hurts. It's painful. And here I am, like, I'm the psychologist, the health guru, like, into this stuff. And it happens to me, guys. Like, it happens to me. It's not one of those things where I'm like, oh yeah, life is great. My family's so understanding. No, they're not. And I do get those little slick comments from time to time, like, oh, well, is this working? Oh, well, maybe you should do this. Oh my gosh, like, why are you being so lazy? And you're just like, woosah, right? And you just got to keep going. You just got to keep going. That's why it's so important to have self-care outlets for you. That's why it's so important to find things that fuel you and fill you up because people are not always going to do it. Right? For me, I have spiritual practices, right? Like I meditate on the word of God, my Bible, I pray, I seek the Lord. Again, I believe in Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. That doesn't have to be your jam. And I'm not here to force religion or push religion or say, oh, you're going to hell if. That's not what I'm here for. I'm just saying find something that is your safe space. Find that thing that is your zen, your and do what makes you happy. Do what helps to take those things out of your mind, but is also going to nourish your body and your healing journey. Okay. So that's all I wanted to share with you guys today. Like it's hard. It really is. This journey of dealing with autoimmune disorders and any kind of illness is not for the weak. And it literally not only affects you physically, but it's going to drain and affect you mentally and emotionally. And I would be telling you a lie if I said it didn't, right? Nobody has ever that I know of, nobody has ever gone through an illness and they're like, oh, I'm just so mentally and emotionally stable, right? You're gonna have those moments where you absolutely are not. And you have to voice that. You have to voice it. Like I tell my family all the time, like, you guys are stressing me out. Like I feel a snapping coming on. And then I voiced it. Now, whether they believe it or not, that's on them. But I immediately have to take myself out of the situation. And even though I try to find like space for myself, my like relaxing and calm and I love this time is when I'm doing work. And even though some people fuss me, they're like, "Oh, you need to go take care of your. Oh, you need to do this. You need to do that." That because I couldn't escape my environment necessarily, like work, creating that creative space. That was it for me. Like I love that because that does not stress me out. That actually helps me calm and focus. So whatever it is, okay, I just want to encourage you to do it and find your space. If you aren't one of those people who voices how you are feeling emotionally or mentally with your partner, with your loved ones, with your friends, do that. Try doing that because sometimes you don't know. Like you can assume that, oh, this person's not going to listen, or oh, they're going to think I'm lying, or they think I'm being super dramatic and everything. You don't know. Tell them anyways, because even just saying it out of your mouth makes you feel so much better. So you can, just I'm praying for your healing, just like I'm praying for my own healing. And we will get through this. Okay, we will get this through this. So if you have any comments or anything, please leave them below. And as always, don't forget to click the subscribe button so that you can come on every time that I'm on here and see what I'm talking about. And then I like interaction, and obviously I can't see you guys watching this video. So please leave comments below, like this, share this with whoever it is that you think needs to hear it, and subscribe to the page. And I will see you guys and you know on the next video, and hopefully in a happier, healthier um, environment and space. So I will talk to you guys later. Bye.